Hello, my name is Victor Uribe, and I'm working for Opel Design in Germany. I was born in Mexico in 1989, back when cars had no airbags and ABS. But quite frankly, I knew since I could, grab a piece of paper or something, and it was one of those things that I somehow knew. I think there was a great luck, and it really helped me in my career, knowing from an early age what is that I wanted to become. I had the chance to study at the Istituto Europeo di Design in Turin, in Italy. And I studied car design. They have their 3 years course. Yeah. Why? Point number one, because I quite like the idea of studying in Italy. I think that was quite attractive. The culture, the whole idea of being surrounded by design, from the buildings to the minimal things like cutlery, etc. So that was quite inspiring. And then there was the fact that they actually gave me a scholarship to study there, so that helped quite a lot, if you ask me. Yes and no. No, because I had a dream and I had an ambition to chase. And yes, because I consider myself a proud Mexican, and I like my country, so that's kind of hard to leave. But sometimes you have to move to chase your dreams, right? So that's it. Very simply, actually, I won a design competition, and actually that was my entry ticket into Opel Design. And back in the day, there was this competition sponsored by General Motors and the Car Design News, and that was my entry ticket. Yeah, they gave me a 6-month internship, and because of that, they liked me, and they say, well, just stay here. And I've been there since for quite some time already. So that was basically it. Yeah. Apart from that, I would just add one little thing. I do think that the design, the style, the what I like to do was the way I express my designs. I think that it kind of fits with the brand. So that was a good match in the end. Brand identity, I think brand identity is pretty much everything, especially in a world where we're pretty much sharing the same componentries and the same underpinnings of pretty much everything, right? So you want to have a strong brand identity to for your vehicle, for whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a cell phone, whatever it is. You want to have a strong brand identity. If you have nothing there, you're kind of lost. Having said that, I don't think that makes my work hard or difficult. I think that you take these as a reference, yes, for sure. But at the same time, you don't want to be stuck in the past, and you want to be disruptive in the same time. So I don't think that you should be just focusing on the identity. Yeah, at least in a brand like, in my case, like Opel, where we actually are more of a mainstream type of manufacturer. Maybe in a brand like Rolls-Royce, for example, that's a different story, right? Because these guys basically, they have the heritage, they have they have a lot of things that they have to respect, right? Because that's what their customers like, and that's what they're known for. So they just keep that. But for us, I think we're more like, okay, well, there's brand identity. There's a solid story of more than 100 years, actually. So you respect that. But at the same time, since we are mainstream, we basically can, introduce certain, let's say, more fresher elements and just flow. Yeah. Changes. Actually, there's quite a lot of changes. At least when it comes to interior design, actually, you will see a total revolution in the interior design architecture. That's just to start with, right? having said that, I do think that the interior design has seen one of the biggest revolutions in the past 10, 15 years or so. Just one little example. I mean, you take let's say you take an Audi TT from the first generation, right? Then you take an Audi TT from this current generation, and you can see that you have quite a lot more stuff packed in. You have a lot more technology packed in, and you will actually keep seeing that. I think that you will see more of a change in interior than in exterior, if I'm honest, So when it comes to electrification, I think that electrification / autonomous or semi-autonomous, because it's going to take a while still, but there's a transition in between, and this transition will allow for car makers to come up with something interesting, right? Something truly unique that you've actually never seen. And that's what I think excites many people. I mean, not just car designers, but also people in general. Yes and no. What does that mean? It means that back in the day, GM used to have Opel, yeah, and we used to make Opel for Buick as well. So that used to mean the fact that you actually had to design a car which had to fit not only the European market, which is Opel, and Vauxhall as well, and the Chinese market or a North American market, so which is Buick. So in a way, you kind of have to have the mindset of the European buyer. You have to have the mindset of the American buyer, and the two into consideration with the moment you actually want to design something. So in a way, yes and no. So, but yeah, I've stayed all my life so far in Germany working for the Blitz, for Opel. Yeah. That's a pretty good question, I would say. It is important, yes, it is, because I think in the end you will just you will discover that you will have to speak to people out of your, let's say, environment, yeah, and that means talking to other people which will not speak English, right, or French or Italian or whatever, depending on the country you are in. But yeah, I do think that you have to learn German, that's for sure. German, or if you can, as a courtesy, learn some of the local language, depending on the country you're in. Because maybe you have to talk to a modeler, for example. And these guys, sometimes they don't speak very good English, or they speak maybe broken English. And it will make you more of a cultured person. I think that's a good thing, and they value these things. I mean, if Germans actually, they value the effort. I mean, if you try, at least a little bit. So I'll endorse learning a bit of German, at least. Not fluently, because it's a very hard language, but a little bit on the heart. I think one of the hardest parts of becoming a car designer is actually have the discipline and the drive to actually get to where you want to be. What maybe your dream is, I don't know, designing Ferraris or designing supercars and all this. And at a certain point in time, I think it was the dream for many of us, right? But I think that finding a place where you feel yourself comfortable in the way that the studio is run, and comfortable in the way that the projects which are coming are actually interesting and engaging. Having this balance between, let's say, work and life. Now at the current time is a bit, let's say, messed up because we're doing everything from home. But having this balance, I think, is one of the greatest things that you can have in life. I think that's one of the hardest things of becoming a car designer. Of course, I'm not saying that having a bit of a struggle from time to time, or hard times where you actually have no sleep, is not a bad thing to have. But yeah, finding balance in life and at work, it's, I think, one of the most precious things. Questioning does not mean being the guy which is always complaining, Questioning why is that you're doing this detail in this color, questioning what is that you're doing this line, questioning what is that you are adding this element to the whole concept, right? or just questioning why is that you're doing the job, you know. I would say definitely one of these. So at the moment, I'm quite in love with the idea of doing these little post-it sketches, you know, post-it and a few, I don't know, pen and paper. Yeah, that's pretty much, I think, one of the coolest and most powerful tools I have in my arsenal. Apart from that, yeah, a very good Cintiq tablet that doesn't hurt. So yeah, I would say that. I would say drawing, yeah, for sure. Because to be quite honest with you, actually, I wasn't very good at drawing in the beginning. I actually had to learn 3D, and I learned rhinoceros in the beginning, and that helped me a lot to understand the 3D, the volumes, how things work in 3D space, and from there simply capture that and put it into in the paper, right? The moment you see the car, the car, whatever it is that you're doing, right, just rolling down the street, I think that's the most rewarding part. I wouldn't say that I hate it, but I would say that there are many elements which are out of your control, but that's actually a characteristic of life itself. Yeah, there are certain things that no matter how you plan things, no matter how how much effort you put into things, things don't go your way. Yeah, and maybe you spend. It really depends sometimes. Quite frankly, sometimes you actually have this mental block, or you simply have no idea what you're gonna do for your next design, or when you're asked to, let's say, from one day to the other, let's say, we have to design a compact SUV or something like that, like from out of the blue, right? And maybe you don't have the answer at that point in time. Maybe you are confused where your thoughts are. Let's say you have a mixed bag of thoughts, and in the end, you don't know which direction you go. So one of the things which I like to do is I like to gather lots of images, resources, and things which I think inspiring. That's for sure. But then I like to start distilling them and put them together. I mean, sometimes maybe the things which I'm coming up with, maybe they don't have a sense at the moment, right? But then with time, it's like let's say, like gravel on the water. I mean, the water and the gravel starts to just solidify and just come down, and in this way it happens the same with ideas, I think. Let's say in general, I would say that yes, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted a job where I could basically draw something or come up with a creative idea, and then after hours of meticulous thought and development, just be able to enjoy it. So you want to give character to your product, and I think the best way to give character to your product is through design and brand image, because that's what people will end up buying in the end of the day, right? That's why it's so important. Mostly the people which helped me in the early beginnings, like when you have no real clue of where you actually would like to study, or where you would like to, or how you will, let's say, start your journey of becoming a car designer. I think some people in Mexico helped me a lot on that to actually figure things out. And then apart from that, yeah, I mean, I do. Of course, we all worship people like Giugiaro or Chris Bangle and people like them, right? And we all aspire to be people like them, right? I mean, to be as influential as they are. So I think people like them are actually, like the rockstar superheroes of car design. That it's super hard to just pick one. I mean, quite frankly, I'm gonna pass on that question, I think, because there's way too many things. I mean, just go on Pinterest and you'll find plenty of inspiration there. Oh my God, you're asking me another tricky question. Mm-hmm. My favorite car, I will answer you this question like Enzo Ferrari, the one I still have to design. Copy answer from the previous question. Insert here. Job done.
Nice.
Thank you. Car I wish I had designed. Actually, I have it as my background at the moment. It's the Alfa Romeo Duetto Tanta from Pininfarina. Wait, Ferrari F40, I think. Yeah, I would go with that one. An Opel. Okay, let's put it this way. I do have to. I like the things that we do at home. Having said that, Opel, a Mocha, for example, that will be the daily driver. But for more, let's say, weekend fun, I'd like to have something like a Mazda MX-5. I think that would be the Bugatti Atlantic. Bugatti 57, the Atlantic, you know which one I'm talking about. We all know that. We all have like wet dreams with that car. So yeah, if you're in this page and you don't know which car I'm talking about, I mean, please go check it out. I think we're not talking here about ugly cars. I think we're talking about lack of budget. Yeah. And the engineer maybe not wanting to do the changes that you're asking him to do. PC, sorry guys. Android. Water. Manual all the way. Porsche for every day, Ferrari for the weekend. Real Madrid, I think I fit better with their mindset, I think.